Shalom Akim, Kahalayim Na Yahaba Shem Yashabashan Hakodash, and double honest to Grams and Apostles. Thadi Yashab for the strength in order to make this video. And Yahaba Shem Yashabrakathan. This one really is just based upon, it's the brother Salaki, it's the brother Ratazar Raha Halawa, meaning willing spirit praise Yahweh. And of course, Yahweh being the name of the Most High, meaning he is, or he exists, or he is to be. And Yahushua meaning he delivers, as in obviously the name represents their purpose, which is to deliver Israel, more specifically the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the elect of Yahweh. But the point being is that when we say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, it's through Yahushua, that's how we get to Yahweh, man. So, for any new bros that may be seeing this, or the few sisters that do come into this. But the point of this video is I named it, let me just try and see the title. So I named it London, the city of AI surveillance. It could even be eventually the whole of UK, man. Which obviously I'm just focusing on it because this is what this video is based upon. The UK government. As you can see, Keir Starmer's face right there. From what's this channel's name called? Big Brother Watch, if I recall correctly. Hold on. Yeah, you can see it there, Big Brother Watch. That's the name of the channel around the top left. But the point is, it says, I named the video London, the city of AI surveillance. Or, hold on, yeah, London, the city of AI surveillance. Because in this video, you see that that's what they're using in order to recognize or mark people's faces. When I say mark, really capture people's faces that walk by and then save it in a database in order to try and recognize criminals. That's what they're doing it as. But as we know, Esau has a deeper agenda to that. I'm gonna get some precepts to it as well. But let me play this video, get some context in, and then the Aratazar portray the point as well as we bring out the precepts.
At the moment, this is how it works. They bring out a van. There are cameras on top of the van that scan everyone's faces as they walk past.
I came to London Bridge and I was pulled up at London Bridge in regards to this face
Some subtitles.
recognition. They were trying to threaten me with regards to an arrest.
He says to me, "You're banned." I did cry the entire way home. I felt so helpless. I just really wanted to find any way to prove that I wasn't a thief.
It's really through our engagement with the police over the years that they do give limited alerts before they use live facial recognition, which then enables us to try and find exactly where the deployment is and come and observe.
Welcome aboard the Southern Service to East Croydon. The next station is Peckham Rye.
My name is Sean Thompson. I'm a street father. It's a community group that deals with the youths. We also help the youths get to where they want to get to do hair, artwork, to do whatever they want to do, whatever they feel they want to do. If it's sports they want to do, they can do that as well.
Street fathers, we street engage, we make sure the community generally feels safe. We engage young people on the verge of crime and we teach them basic English and maths, we teach them
What Israel needs, what the young ones of Israel needs, as they say, the youths of Israel needs, is really the guidance from the scriptures, man. That's what they need. They need the guidance from the scriptures, which is really just the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to know how to live their lives, how to structure their lives, as they grow up as well, how to live as young ones too, what to do in order to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's what they ought to do. But all of this, as they call themselves street fathers or something like that, at the end of the day, yeah, you have occasional Jake that, will join that and will be able to reason better when navigating this world. But ultimately, in a spiritual sense, there's only so far that this thing can go to, man. You can already see, obviously these guys are people of the world anyways, It's more of a, how can I say this? A worldly, how can I say this? But really, it's part of the world, man. That's the thing. If you really want to bring up the youths properly, you got to listen to the scriptures. That's it. The words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because as I said, this can only go so far, man. You can only teach the youth so far. And if it ain't Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's will, that's when the corruption of the young ones come in. That's why you got them always daggering and flipping, killing each other over, little things, man. It's all about what do they even call it, like postcode gangs or something? Certain areas, if you're part of the rival gang, they'll try and shank you up. All that stuff. Because of that, because of the lack of wisdom that they got, the lack of the guidance from the scriptures, that's why, the youths are in that position. But anyways, man, let's go.
Entrepreneurial skills to show them that there are other options available to them.
As soon as we get that alert, we will have to drop everything, cancel meetings, scramble as many people from the team together that we can, and go down to observe a deployment. You can't protect human rights just from behind a desk. You have to be on the ground seeing what's actually happening and talking to people who are affected. Behind me is a Metropolitan Police live facial recognition deployment, and they bring, at the moment, this is how it works, they bring out a van. There are cameras on top of the van that scan everyone's faces as they walk past. So typically, on a busy day in a London area like this, they can be scanning thousands of people's faces. It's thousands of people that are effectively walking through a digital police lineup. As you walk past, it's a passport-style check that sees if you are known to the police, if you are on a database. There are lots of different reasons that people can be put onto watch lists. You can be put on a watch list to protect you from harm, whatever that means. Typically what we see is an alert comes up, bam, the person is stopped. If they don't stop voluntarily, then they can be physically apprehended. On the 23rd of February, in the evening, I went to London Bridge to watch the police using live facial recognition in a literal thunderstorm. And in the middle of this, a man walked past, who we now know to be Sean Thompson.
Well, I came from a patrol which was actually engaging with the youth in Croydon. And on the way home, I had something to do at home with my kids, But I came to London Bridge and I was pulled up at London Bridge in regards to this facial recognition.
I literally just come from just patrolling. I literally patrolled. I left my lot this time on this.
But they're telling me I'm a wanted man. They've been asking me. They're telling me I'm a wanted man. I asked them, wanted for what? They then said, we need to make sure that it's you that's wanted. I felt very annoyed, because to me it's all unnecessary, They already know that it's not me. They've already been, they know it's not me. By the face, everything.
But really the point of me making this video is because considering the times that we're in right now where the technology is already available for the MOTB, that would then be used in order to scan people's faces, or not even scan people's faces. One could even say bodies, man. What do they call it? Infrared. I think that's part of the electromagnetic spectrum of waves. For those of you who know a little bit on physics. But really, it's just talking about electromagnetic waves, man. It's a way the cameras perceive the human body in order to scan for certain features, maybe for heat or cold, certain areas. They'll be able to also detect just by even signals as well. Not just mere signals, but rather there's a way to do it. I don't want to get too technical on it, but rather if they release a signal, and of course if the chip isn't receptive to that signal, or there is no reception from like a like a sender receiver type of thing, it means that the person who doesn't have that hasn't sent out a receiver, so like a receptive signal, that means they haven't taken the chip. Essentially, if the police send a signal to a person's chip and there is no signal that comes back as a reception, that means that the person isn't chipped. But for a person chipped, they will have a receiver signal, sent back. So Yara says, you understood that. So you understood what I just said, because I know it was a bit wavy, it wasn't too clear. But that's the point. As I say, it works as a sender-receiver manner. And with these cameras as well, they can still scan a person to see whether they got the chip. So as soon as you got police officers, driving around in these vans, scanning people's faces as well, they're going to be equipped with the technology to also scan people whether they got the chip or not. Right there. So of course this video right here, of course, is on a layer of what was I gonna say? It's basically the first layer of things before, you know, ESO's gonna start to do a deeper invasion of privacy. Right now, it's facial recognition. As you can see, it says what the government isn't telling you about facial recognition. Because right now, you know, you got Jake over here. You know, he's being mistaken for being a criminal. You know, it says that I want to make sure I don't arrest the wrong person. That's just ESO. You know, ESO's pretty much wasting Jake's time right now, man. That's what's happening over here. But with that facial recognition software, I mean, well, yeah, it is a software that runs in the camera, but that facial recognition software that they're using right now, you know, it could be used to really trip up a lot of people, man. And think of it as in as how they could use it to corrupt the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. You know, to make them say that they did things when they didn't. Considering the fact that's AI, you know, artificial intelligence as well, you know, that means things can be constructed falsely too. You know, as you can see from certain things, certain AI apps, not just ChatGPT, the other ones where you can, you know, of course, type a description and then, you know, it formulates some kind of art form for you or picture for you. You know, so let me get this preset. Of course, as we're in this society, we've got to be wise. You know, as we're out here, got to be very wise when it comes to Esau Edom's technology. This is Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So, of course, at times, you know, certain brothers will follow their role, but of course, when you see these things as well, that could be used against you in the future too, man. You know, you may be walking in the area, which again, it's all Yahweh Shem Yahshai's will, whether, you know, you get your face captured or not. But you may be walking in the area, and you know, you could see this type of police van, man, which is mentioned here. You know, those AI cameras, but yeah, eventually they're gonna have AI anyways integrated into these cameras, man. You know, so of course, you know, if you can avoid them. Because of course, you never know how they're gonna use your. Which at the end of the day, you know, we got our faces all over the darn internet, man. You know, the videos that we produce as well. So at the end of the day, they got a whole load of data to falsify whatever evidence too. But of course, you know, you just gotta be cautious in it, because you know how Esau Edom can be with his falsifying evidence. But through Yahweh Shem Yahshai will be protected, so we just gotta be wise, and you know, if you do what you can in it, which again, it's all the Most High as well. So let me see. In fact, hold on, because Esau will use this to his advantage. It's gonna be the first part of restricting people's movements. That's in 2nd Ezra 15. But let me get this. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which have prescribed. And unrighteous decrees is really an invasion of that privacy, man. People getting their face data collected without even consenting. But you know, Esau's obviously just moving ahead with his agenda, man. Because if you just put cameras everywhere, which London, there's a whole load of cameras in London, man. You know, London alone, there's a whole load of cameras. With those cameras, of course, they capture faces. If they capture the faces and store them in a database, they can use that to feed data to the AI. Because AI, artificial intelligence, it needs something to feed from in order to actually construct something that looks as though it's original, but, you know, it's based off of former creations. You know, so it needs data. But with the facial recognition, they'll capture a person's face and then put an ID on him. And then that's how they're able to, of course, criminalize a person. You know, just by saying he's been spotted here, he's been spotted there. Or even, really, it's just putting an identity that, you know, okay, this guy's a criminal, and then they put your face on the news. So don't be surprised, even with just a normal down camera, man. Because they're in this video later on, he also mentions about stores, local stores, also having these facial recognition software inside of them too, man. So don't be surprised when, Yahweh Shem Yahshua makes it where Esau starts to implement his draconian measures, where, of course, for those of us who have been preaching in this truth, that we're then restricted to even go into the shop, man. So these things, there's going to be some severe times coming, man. We ought not to be surprised, because, of course, we've been warned by the scriptures as well. So these are the things that we've got to prepare our mind for.
Face everything.
My friend, it's not about making sure nothing. I know I ain't done nothing wrong. This is simple. And I showed you myself. The guy's face, you showed him there. It's not, I'm saying that face.
Sean had also explained that actually he's a community worker. He works with a fantastic group in London called Street Fathers, who provide a positive male influence to young men in London and try to get knives off the streets. They're basically doing the job that the police used to do.
If I tried to move on or walk or step, they were trying to threaten me with regards to arrests and stuff like that.
Hiya.
News agency.
No. We're campaigners. We're here campaigning against the police using the facial recognition.
I have a problem with it as well.
Do you live in Peckham?
I don't live in Peckham, but I work in Peckham. I live in Croydon.
Peckham,
I work in Peckham.
Croydon is another place where they've been using facial recognition
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
So it's being used both in the place where you work and where you live.
Exactly.
And does it make you feel safer when you see these cameras watching everyone?
I think it's an intrusion of people's privacy. I know there's an idea of using this to record information to keep people safe. But I feel it's like a police state. We're getting our privacies more and more intruded into by the big, what's the Big Brother, if they call it, I think it's called.
I work near here and I live around the corner as well.
Yeah. So what do people in the area think of live facial recognition cameras seemingly spying on the areas where people are relaxing in Peckham?
By the way, certain jakes as well, pretty much, well, I say certain jakes. Well, majority of jakes are quite simple-minded anyways. They'll just be wondering and they'll see that and be like, oh, okay, they just got some police stuff going on there. But all in all, this is why scriptures talk about being wise as serpents as well, man. We've got to be aware of these things. Because, of course, certain things that we may brush off could come back to haunt us later on, man. So, that's something that we've got to be aware of when it comes to these things. Because, of course, everything's of Yahweh Shem Yahshua's will. But it don't mean that we should just act a fool, wherever we are. The scriptures talk about using wisdom when you do things, which at the same time is given by Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Right, so let me get to the next precept first. So yeah, man, Esau's gonna come down with his surveillance. He wants to watch everything. He wants to be like the Most High, know everything within the inward thought of a man, to where a person's whereabouts are. That chip will be used as a tracking device as well, man. It will be used as a tracking device. And this facial recognition software, as I said, they will also be used as a hindrance for people to access certain things. So let's get this precept here. Because as I said, man, they're going to criminalize the prophets. They'll provide false evidence in order to make the prophets appear in a certain way. So Isaiah 5:20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, and that put darkness for light and light for darkness, but put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So of course Esau Edom, concerning the prophets, he's going to try and make them look bad, man, make them look evil. With AI, of course, they can manipulate the video footage of which we got online. They can manipulate facial recognition software as well. Different type of things, man, that Esau could do with his the technology that the Most High has blessed him with. So let me play a bit more, then I'm going to get a preset and close out.
UK, you're banned. And I'm just like, what? Why?
It wasn't the person that came up on the watch list. Different scars, different tattoos, but they continued to hold him for half an hour, despite the fact that he'd shown ID, a copy of his...
This is not your arrest, man. That's why East will be trying to play with flipping Jake, man, wasting their time and just annoying Jake ultimately.
Passport and other identifying information.
I had plans to basically go and stay with the kids after my patrol. They were prolonging it and stopping me from doing what I have to do as a family man. I've had to get on the phone to the missus and she couldn't believe it herself. She was not happy at all. You know what I'm saying? At all.
It had just been a week of me.
Yeah, so it says shops are now putting live facial recognition cameras in doorways, checking shoppers' and identity.
Moving to Manchester.
Man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
A complete new city for me. I didn't have any friends or family there. I was having a bad day and I just kind of wanted to cheer myself up. I don't know, buy some snacks like chocolate and things. And I just decided to go to Home Bargains. So when I walk into the store, not even a minute later, a worker comes up to me and says, "You need to leave, you're a thief, please leave the store." This is like the first time I've walked into Home Bargains, obviously because I just moved. He's trying to dumb it down and explain it to me.
What would actually be what would frustrate people is also the idea of doppelgangers, man. You know, basically someone else out there who looks like you or looks very close to you, as though they were a brother or something, you know, or a sister. The point is, you got doppelgangers out there, man. So imagine if there was a doppelganger of you doing some criminal activity, and East was trying to find them, you know, and then they see you, you know, they see you, and then be like, "We gotta check if you're the actual criminal or not, man." That's another darn clock day wasted. They may even go as far as just arrest you straight up, without you actually being the person of whom is the actual criminal. That's just, you know, me thinking about the concept of doppelgangers. You know, let me try to see something here. Concept of doppelgangers. Definition of doppelganger. Doppelganger. So it says here, an apparition or double of a living person. You know, typically you have people who may look like you. I've spotted quite a few myself, man, throughout my lifetime. But you know, each one, of course, these are all different spirits. But the niece was as like, oh damn, this guy looks super similar to this other guy, man. So of course, these are also tactics that can be used in order to criminalize someone who's actually innocent. You know, so be aware of that, man. You never know. You could have a doppelganger out there, and then that could be used to use as a falsified evidence against you. And of course, considering our works as well, you know, as scriptures say, make your bodies a living sacrifice. That may as well be used against us, man, despite it not being the truth. Suffer wrongfully, as the scriptures say.
We have cameras and they detected your face as someone who's stolen before, so you need to leave the store. So he took my bag and he checked that I didn't steal, I guess. He says to me, you're not going to be able to enter any Home Bargains, any Sports Direct, any Flannels, any Co-op in the UK, you're banned. And I'm just like, what? Why? Like, how can I fix this? He goes, there's a sticker on the door. So he escorts me out the store. I do look at the sticker on the door and it's Face Watch's poster.
We're commoditising facial recognition. You need a standard HD camera and a license from FaceWatch, and away you go. One of the things that FaceWatch will do is we'll hold, store and share that data proportionally with other businesses in your area who equally subscribe to FaceWatch. You then start to build a really powerful tool. There's nearly 6 million cameras in the UK and about 500,000 in London alone. It's a technology that eventually becomes part of society and people sort of, well, they might not embrace it, they just accept it's there.
Of course, no one wants to be labelled.
This face recognition is also another way of acquiring data from people, man. They know your face, they know your identity. So of course you're not as easily untrackable as you may think you are. Because of all these cameras holding your data, then they'll be able to study your movements, that as well. You know, study whatever profiles you got online. You know, you may have online, well, of course, as you produce fruit in this truth as well. You know, that's also something too that they can study. Or really anywhere, man. You know, it could be you studying you in the workplace. You know, different type of tactics Esau can muster up from the simple facial recognition.
As a thief, especially when you know you haven't done it. Being in a new city, I don't know anyone, and you know, facing that humiliation, it made me so upset. On the way home, it was like a 30-minute journey, and I did cry the entire way home. I called my mom, I was crying on the tram. I felt so helpless. I just really wanted to find any way to prove that I wasn't a thief. And I contacted FaceWatch. FaceWatch said that it was due to human error, that the system...
This was a Dunner case, man. See, it was an error in the system. A simple Don Clark error has led to this now. Let me see if I can find that precepts. A simple error has led to so much pain for her. But anyways, man, a simple error could lead to death. And Esau would say, oh well. Oh my gosh. But you know, scripture's got to speak, man. So Isaiah 19:14, the Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So even though Esau thinks, you know, okay, he's going to have all this technology, you know, to track people, you know, to acquire the most amount of data that he can, it's all going to fail eventually. And even the MOTB is going to fail, man. That's why you're going to have people with noisome and grievous sores, Revelation 16:2. You know, smelly and painful sores, man. Like a cancer cell right there. So yeah, that's really the point of this video, Hakim. So actually, no, one more precept. I know I've already said it, but let me try to get Yaratazar. I can't get. Yahawaratazar. It's Yahawaratazar, meaning Yahweh willing, or by Yahweh's will, that I can get this precepts. So 15 and 17. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Because of course, with all this darn facial recognition, and then, you know, if they label you, blacklist you, they will then say, okay, he can't go into the shops, he can't go into the workplace, he can't go here, he can't go there, he can't do this, he can't do that. So of course that's going to be used, you know, to oppress people, man. You know, woe unto those who decree unrighteous decrees, as I said in Isaiah 10 and 1, man, early on in this video. Because you can see how this would happen, man. If they blacklist a person, they'll say they can't be able to go into a city, man. So that restricts their movement automatically. Kind of reminds me of this Watch Dogs trailer. Let me try to find it as well. Yeah, that don't get copyright. Watch Dogs Legion trailer. It's a game. It's basically a game trailer where you know, London's basically this. Hold on. London is this basically it's a surveillance city, man. That's what it is. Not sure if I can still do it. If not, I'm gonna clip it, and you know, it will end at this point, Yaratazar. So, you know, Shalawam, Yabashim, Yashabrakutham, and Yaratazar, that you edified from the video, man. If it don't work, then I'll have to clip it in it from this point on.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people, as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal, suspected to have links with the terrorist group Delta, is masked as potentially dangerous. Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
first, they...
And you know, if the Most High puts the spirit of fear upon Esau as well, when I can start getting blessed with that spiritual power, it's gonna be real, man. It's gonna be real. In terms of course, Ark can be blacklisted because you know scriptures talk about being pilgrims upon earth. So of course, brothers will be on the run, man. Can't really have your faces be shown at a certain time, especially when Esau's got his MOTB and he hears that the prophets are speaking against him. Of course, he's gonna want to he's gonna try and get rid of us. Some of us will die. Some of us will have to be on the run for quite a while, and then some of us, you know, well, I say some of us, but of course, Yaris we all get our spiritual power to then deal with Esau, man. But of course, certain brothers with whatever portion is given to them by the word of Yahweh, ultimately.
Came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters, and I did not speak out because I was not a protester. Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out because I was not a journalist. And then they came for street artists.
You see, you see the tracking right there, man. This is of course an animation there, but you saw the way the camera captured it's actually a she, by the way, the one who's running the character.
Because I was not a journalist.
Yeah, this character here is a she, but she was then running, and then the camera captured that she was in I guess a certain underground station, and of course that then signaled to the police her location instantly. So that's another aspect of this facial recognition, how it can be used. Right there in the middle. Yeah.
And then they came for street artists. But I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
That's the part, man. You know, as the Jake said in the other Big Brother Watch video, based on the face recognition, it's gonna be a police state, man. You know, this is just like gradualism to get people used to the fact of seeing, you know, police walking around with their vehicles, cameras as well, and just the idea that they're being watched. You know, Big Brother as they call it. But anyways, you know, I'm gonna end it off there. You know, Yaratazar, they edified. Shalom, or Yabashim Yashar Brakatha. Yaratazar, that this doesn't get clipped though. But yeah, Shalom, Yabashim Yashar Brakatha.